Hello. I did not finish my second branch yesterday. And I can't find my scissors. My kids helped me clean up yesterday. Hold on. Okay. That's as far as I got on the second one. Don't worry, the weekend's coming. I'll catch up then. All right, so today we're gonna do a fishbone stitch. So we are gonna do these reddish orange leaves. Sorry, I'm just trying to clean up this thread real quick and then we'll get going. All right, so that color is I think it's 22. Hold on. Let me pull up my pattern. No, it's not. It's 918. Sorry about that. Okay. Our leaf is going to be 918. It's not quite as orangey as I thought it was, but all right. So let me get this in my hoop stand and we will get started. Okay. So I'm gonna do the same thing that I did yesterday and I'll just do this leaf and then there is 2 on this side that will need to be done that I'll let you do those ones on your own. So I will stitch this one with you and then you'll have to catch up on your own. I am going to use 6 strands. I really, really like 6 strands for a fishbone stitch because it looks really good when it's like thick and fluffy. Let's see how many times it takes. Hey, first try. Woohoo! Okay, so we're gonna start the same way we always start with a little knot at the end. Okay. See if we can zoom in. Blurry, there we go. Okay, so we are gonna start at the top of our leaf. Right there. And we're just gonna take this like halfway down or a third of the way down. Somewhere between there. And make that first stitch. Now what we're gonna do is kind of braid our stitches over the top of that. So we're gonna come up, we're gonna come down and over a little from our first stitch. That's a little bit further than I want it to go. Okay, so we're just gonna come down that leaf. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna cross this center line and come over here and put our stitch down. Don't worry, these stitches will get covered up as we work down the leaf. So then our next one, this one you have to work from side to side. You can start on the right or start on the left, it doesn't matter, but we're gonna work back and forth. Every other stitch will be on the other side. So this time we're gonna come across the center and we're gonna kind of line it up with this one. Maybe. There we go. And then we're gonna go back to the other side and do the same thing. So on this side, we're gonna come down a little bit from our first one. So as we get working, you'll be able to see that pattern. It starts to look like a braid or a fishtail or a fishbone. So same thing, we're just gonna come down, but on the other side. That is like untwisting. There we go. That's it. That's all there is to this one. It's just working side to side. There will be some more instruction as we get closer to the bottom, but for now, we are just gonna work our way down this leaf and go back and forth. Oh my goodness. This thread does not like me. So once I start to get closer to the bottom, I don't put my stitches as close to the edge. I start to kind of bring them into the center a little bit. That'll help as we start to get closer to the bottom. But always working one side and then the other. Now you can start seeing that pattern or that texture that it creates. And I try, this time I'm not succeeding very well, but like this one, I'm on the same stitch, but this one should be closer to down here. I kind of kept these ones a little bit closer, I guess, but anyways, it's not like a big deal. It's not gonna change your look a whole lot, but if you can keep them parallel, that helps it just look more uniformed. So we have this line up the middle, so just keep your stitches as they get kind of closer to the middle, just make sure that they're crossing that middle line, even if you're moving your stitch just slightly closer to it. Just make sure it's crossing that center line to keep that that pattern that we're creating. Today's gonna be kind of a fast day. We have super rainy weather today. It's the first day of the season that I've like put on a sweater that I'm planning to wear all day. I had to get out my lamp. It's like dark outside. Okay, so I think we're only going to do one more that crosses this center line. Now that we're at the bottom of this leaf. So once we get to the bottom, we will finish off the leaf by just getting it rounded at the bottom. So we're going to go into the center line here. And then these next ones, to kind of round it out, I like to come up at an angle. And then go down at an angle, but not quite at the point. So it's just off a little bit from that. There, helps just create kind of a little bit of a more rounded look versus like just if we just did like a diagonal stitch there, it would look a little bit more straight. So we're gonna go into the center. And then we'll do one more where we come up at an angle. And then this one will go down at an angle. Okay, there is our leaf, and then we're just gonna do one little stitch right here. There we go. Dang, that only took me 10 minutes. Maybe I'll do the other ones. This video is really short. But it's cute. Look at that cute texture. Okay, I'll do the other one. The back is also really fun on these. Like it just creates like these on the side. So cute. Okay, let me tie this off and then we'll move to the other side. Okay, I do need to switch sides, so I'm gonna have to take this out of my hoop stand. I mean, you could stitch it upside down, but I don't want to. I like to stitch from the top to the bottom. So hang on, there we go. So tomorrow is our last day of the week. We will do this branch and we'll learn French knots and colonial knots. It'll be a fun day. Perfect for the weekend. You'll have lots of time to practice. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this one. So I'm gonna do it the same way. I don't know, maybe I'll do a different variation. Okay. So if we start at the top, depending on how you want your leaf to look, you could do this center line longer or shorter. So if you started here and went all the way down and then started crossing like up here, it would make it so it's a little bit more like satin stitch at the top and then crossed at the bottom. Ouch. So let me show you what I mean. So you can do it either way. Let's go up just a little bit. It'll just change the look of that leaf just slightly. There won't be as much of a braided look because it starts quite a bit lower. So you won't have as much space to create that. So I think I was talking about it yesterday, but said I was gonna make homemade noodles and make chicken noodle soup. Was I talking about that during the live yesterday? I don't remember, but I did. I made noodles, I made soup. The noodles were a little tough, so I'm gonna have to try that again, but it's a fun experience. I am determined to learn. My dad made homemade noodles all the time growing up because his mom made them. Whenever my grandma asked what meal I wanted her to make, I always asked for her homemade chicken noodle soup. Oh my goodness, I feel like everything is shaking. See, not very many stitches and I'm already down to that middle. See how much less stitching there was involved? So I'm just gonna do one there. So it still has that same look that the fishbone stitch gives, but it there's not as many stitches and it's a little bit more elongated. Okay, that one only took me 5 minutes. I'm gonna do this last one while I'm right here. I may as well. So I'm gonna do this one like I did the first one, and I'm gonna come from the middle a little bit. This is another way to do it if you want to. You can start in the middle and go to the top. I'm having a hard time getting my needle through today. And then do the same thing, but come from the middle up to the top, and you can stitch it that way as well. So if you're having a hard time, maybe try starting in the middle versus starting at the top. I just didn't want to trail my thread all the way up to the top. I just wanted it to go there. Usually I'll do a few like this and then I'll switch back to going from the top to the bottom. Anyways, this is one of my favorites for leaves. I like that it's kind of smooth and simple, but it still gives like some fun texture to the piece without like being super in your face. It's a little bit more subtle. You can use this on little tiny leaves or on big fat ones. Depending on what you want to do. So this would even work like for the green ones we did yesterday. You could do them like this as well. You would just have a lot fewer stitches. Like there would just be, you know, like 7 stitches versus how many are we doing? 15 or so. Okay, I'm gonna need more thread. Hang on, got things all twisted around each other there. I'm just gonna do this little tiny short piece so I don't have too much cut. Let's see, can I thread it the first time this time too? Ha! It's a good needle threading day. I was working on a personal project before this and I was not having as good of a time threading my needle. So I'm glad that this is going well. Sometimes I feel like it depends on the thread too. Like if you're using like older thread that's been like handed down or from a thrift shop or something, I feel like sometimes it's just not quite as soft and like easy to use. So if you're having problems threading, it could be the thread and not you. All right, one more stitch over on this side. I think just one more on this side too. All right, then the little stem. So I don't know if you can see the difference. The difference is subtle, but you can kind of see like this one is a little bit like longer and a little bit less defined, where this one you can kind of see that fishbone a little bit more. Anyways, so it depends on how you stitch it. It'll come out just slightly different. You could also make this first stitch really, really short, like keep it in the top third and keep these like really at an angle. That would change it as well. So maybe do it a couple different ways and see which one you like best. All leaves are different, so if you have some, you know, if they look a little bit different, that's okay. This is for practicing and having fun. So, okay, I'm gonna let you go. Let me know if you have questions as you get working, and then I will see you back here tomorrow. We will do some French knots, so get excited, and I will see you later. Bye.